Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody. Here we go again in our class, Sociology of Communication in 2020. We are going to have what is it? Subject about audience studies. Okay, this topic is rarely talked about in any subjects because not so many not so many not so many subjects cover this kind of material. So I'm going to talk about this in two meetings in a row. Why do I think that this topic is so important? Because you guys will be the communication practitioners who understand who who your audiences are, what kind of audiences context, what kind of your audiences background that can receive or resist your messages. Okay, let's start with the topics. First of all, you have to understand that for all these years, the research about communication mass communication chains are dominated with media studies. Only few who address audience as the important component in mass communication chains, while they play the important role in defining whether the message is being received or not, or if the product is being accepted or not by the society. So this is the most important one. Even if you want to be a PR, even if you want to be a public relations practitioners, then you have to understand who your audiences are when you are doing media conference, press conference. You have to understand who they are and what kind of effect that you want to achieve, or you want to have from your explanation. For example, if you do not know about your audience, then you will become very bad communicators. You can see how many of our government stakeholders fail to unite our societies in combating the outbreak. Why? Because they have no idea how to deliver good message that is suitable with the audience in Indonesia. Okay, let's continue. So what's the focus on these topics? This topic is going to focus on reception studies. Reception studies is about how the audience receive the message into a deeper layer of the understanding of in more depth understanding. So we will see that audience and the media and the text producer, they have the relationship, me with the movie director is having relationship through the movie, and the scholars will see how my background is influencing the way I build the relationship between me and the message. How I interpret the message is being influenced by my background, my gender, my education, my relationship with my family, my religion. It is all influencing the audience, the relationship between the audience and the media. Okay, and then the audience reception is started by, or is initiated by Stuart Hall, who are very good in cultural studies and the godfather of cultural studies, one of the godfather of cultural studies, who understand that the relations, there is the empirical experience between the text producers and the audiences. He understands that audience is never being passive. He understands that audience is not just sitting down, laying on the bed, and just enjoying the TV show without thinking or without digesting the message in their mind. But instead, Hall believes that audience is digesting the message through their mind, and the digestion is being influenced by the experience that I already mentioned before. And Hall is answering his is answering his puzzle about the uses and gratification theories that put the position of the audience as the passive voice. They just being seen as whether they are being satisfied or not, being influenced or not by the media products. While in many times the influence of the audience is not as easy as when they watch the movie, then they will behave differently based on the movie. It doesn't work with audience. Why? Many audiences in Indonesia see that living together without marriage on the movie is common. On Hollywood movies are common. But audiences, they don't do that. They don't live with their partners just like what it is said on the movie. Why? Because they're being active. They're not passive voice. They're not watching the movies and then after that they do the same thing. No, right? Many people are watching porn, but not all who watch porn movies, they do the same thing with what they watched. Why? Because they are active subjects. They can think. They digest the message based on their background. They select their response on the media. They select what they watch and how they have to respond on the message. And how do they respond? It's different. I cannot say what the response is because it can be varies throughout the between audiences. So in reception studies, the researcher will prove that media is not the only one who make a domination of culture, where it seems that the audience do not have any voice at all. But instead, our reception studies will give the evidence that audience may have their resistance. If I watch a Hollywood movie that show couples who are not engaged in marriage, they live together, then I do not do the same, it can be said that I am being resistant to the message. Why? That's the question in reception studies. Why didn't I do the same? Why can't I agree with that message? So it is the focus of the reception studies. Therefore, here, text in post-structuralism, in post-structuralist lens or perspective, text do not have a single meaning. They have various meanings, they have many meanings based on audience interpretation. And each interpretation is different based on their experience. And the most interesting thing of the audience reception is that it gives voice to marginalized people. So in my experience of being a lecturer, I rarely supervise a final scriptsy that take marginalized people in giving feedback or in responding media's products. So when you take this as your topics of your scriptsy, then you have to challenge yourself to take minorities, take those who are marginalized, for example, those who are the victim of violence, those who are discriminated in the society, those who are disabled, those who are not white, to give the voice about the message that you take as your main topic. That will be very interesting, because in many times they will give their best response that is surprising. That something that maybe you will never understand for all these years. So here, in seeing the text, you're not just interpreting the text, but also you will see the context, how the text is being interpreted by people. You will see the context of the audience. You're not just, okay, this text is like this, okay, then I will interpret the text. You're not just doing that, but you also understand the context, the sociological context of your audience, how they live and what kind of value they have, so they can understand or interpret the text like this. So this is the picture of how the communication studies is shifting from understanding the media text and understanding that audience are passive voice into audience that is very plural and very active. they are they are coming from different race, different ethnicity, different religion, and they have different values, and they being active. So it can be concluded that the research about audience can see the balance between the text and the relation between the text and the audience, and how the audience understand the text, whether it is in line or suitable with the meaning of the text, or their response is showing the resistance toward the text. I hope it is clear, and see you next week about reception analysis. Okay, thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.